Can you stop video?
Okay, Pete.
Right, it's that time of year again, so it's we're a bit later this year for the cider making. It's been a very good year for cider. Some areas haven't been so good, but in the Midlands it's been brilliant. The weather's been superb. Now I had a few questions last year. So the one question was the scratter that we made, which is on another video, which you can see on my channel, is how we made the blade. We didn't buy the blade. You can buy from homebrew shops a fruit scratter, but it's just a small version of this basically. But I didn't find it worked very well. I didn't think the blade was made very well. It wasn't. The blade was made poorly. So this is the blade that we constructed. I hope you can see that. And that's basically just a piece of plate steel that we've cannibalised off something. I think it might have been an old baking sheet from an oven or the back of an oven. But that was just profile cut, and then that was then welded, drilled, and then welded to a pipe. And then I drilled that to a 10mm smooth 10mm bar, and obviously that then fits in the chuck of a standard drill. And then if you notice that that's important, that little gap, you must have a gap between the bottom of the blade and the bottom of the bucket that it sits in, the metal bucket. That's also recessed, because if my beautiful assistant comes down here, you'll see that in the bottom of the scratter I set a little bearing in there. So this sits into the bearing and sits in there to keep it central. If you don't do that, this blade will go all over the place. So it's basically just like a giant food processor. But you must not leave too much of a gap under here, this recess. If you leave too much of a gap, then you'll get apples jamming underneath and they won't get chopped up. So that's how we did it. It takes a bit of work, but it's not really difficult. You could actually do it probably out of a piece of all thread and bolt it on and screw it with 2 bolts and nuts, and then you just have to use a grinder to clean the end off to fit it into a drill bit. There is other ways of doing it, but that's how I did mine. Okay, now we will lose